Garry's mod on Steam is one of the most unique gaming experiences out there. Originally a physics sandbox game, it has been fueled over the years by a dedicated modding community and now has a massive variety of game modes. From the sneaky to the creative and the just pure mad, here are our picks for the best multiplayer modes you should try in Garry's mod. Trouble in Terrorist Town. A Gmod classic and still one of the most popular games on public servers, TTT is all about awareness, detective work and sneakery. In this scenario, everyone is a terrorist, but a minority have chosen to rebel against the group, splitting alliances between the oxymoronic innocent terrorists and the traitor terrorists. The traitors are outnumbered, so must eliminate the innocents without being found out. The innocents, meanwhile, can search bodies for clues and must choose carefully who to trust. You never know if the person helping you will turn on you in the last moment. To give the innocents more of a fighting chance, one player is a detective. Both traitors and detectives can buy items to help them, like disguises, special weapons, and tools like the DNA scanner. The traitors can also communicate over voice chat to coordinate and work together. TTT is always available if you want to jump into a public game and duel it out with strangers, but it's most fun if you can get a group of friends together in your own private match. Add in group voice chat and suddenly you've got a whole new dynamic where accusation, persuasion and a silver tongue become your most deadly weapons. Extreme Football Throwdown. If you're a serious fan of NFL, Extreme Football Throwdown might make you grit your teeth and leave you unsure whether to laugh or cry. EFT strips back all of the complicated rules of proper sports and just has one core pursuit: grab the ball and get it over the opponent's goal line. To spice things up a little, the pitch is littered with pickups and weapons. Now you can tackle your opponent using a 10-foot pole, fire melons out of a bazooka, or casually lob a cruise missile at their feet. Get close to the goal and the madness dives into poetic slow motion with camera angles to capture the dramatic emotions on the players' faces. EFT is best played as a group in a private match, getting exponentially more funny with more people involved. 2v2 or 3v3 matches are a great laugh if you're also sharing a group chat channel. The different maps give enough variety to mix the game up and can keep you going for hours. Murder. Another one of the most popular modes with dedicated servers, Murder is like a stripped back version of Trouble in Terrorist Town and usually requires a bit more nuance to succeed. Like TTT, there are 3 roles. Most of the group are bystanders with one detective or sheriff and 1 or 2 murderers. The difference here is that there are very limited weapons involved. Most bystanders begin the round unarmed and can only try to avoid other characters. The detective begins the round with a magnum that will kill with 1 hit, and the murderer has only a knife to dispatch their victims. To encourage the bystanders to move around, they can collect items around the map to earn another weapon, which also gives the murderer a chance to sneak up on people while they're in a quiet corner, take them out and escape unnoticed. The murderer can also sprint to more easily catch their prey. Overall, Murder plays out as a more tense and psychological version of TTT, where the murderer has to carefully consider how to take out each victim. With plenty of games available, it's one of the easiest modes to jump into if you're looking to join a group. Prop Hunt. Prop Hunt is the ultimate game of hide and seek, and Garry's mod is the home to the original version of this quirky game mode that also appeared in Call of Duty World War II. In Prop Hunt, there are 2 equal teams, the props and the hunters. At the beginning of the round, the props have 30 seconds to explore the level and can transform into any item they find. They then have to blend into their surroundings to remain hidden while the hunters try to find and kill them. If you're a prop, your health depends on the size of the item you copy. Smaller props have less health but are easier to hide and harder to hit if they're found. The hunters, meanwhile, have to be careful where they choose to shoot, as damaging items that aren't player props will take points off their HP. Hunters should have a keen eye for what looks out of place in the level and watch out for hidden corners where players could hide out of sight. Props can move around, jump and change into other items, and some of the best moments in Prop Hunt happen when players are cheekily mocking the hunters behind their backs or running from a fight and escaping detection as a new item. Teams swap at the end of each round, so you'll get a chance to cycle both roles and learn the layout of the level. Prop Hunt is another great game to jump into if you're on your own, as there are lots of public servers, but its absolute best is when you're with a group of friends on Team Chat. Sled Build. If you're creative and good with the Gmod building tools, or even if you aren't, Sled Build will test your ability to innovate and your diaphragm strength. You spawn atop a beautiful snowy peak surrounded by workshops and must build a sled to navigate the piste and finish first in a race to the bottom. The slope is slippery enough that nearly anything will make it to the bottom eventually, but you can add some speed and control using boosters, wheels and any other Gmod mechanics you can get in the regular sandbox mode. Unless you're a stellar engineer though, you can expect your contraption to smash, flip and spin madly as you try to keep it on course, making for some pretty hilarious outcomes in the race. Once you hit the bottom, you'll respawn with your sled back at the top to go all over again. Flood. Want to build and battle? Then Flood could be your game. This time though, it's all about buoyancy. Build the best floating fortress possible in the time limit before jumping aboard your vessel as the arena floods with water. As long as you don't sink, you can then pull out different weapons to try and take down the other boats on the water. The only way you can die is from falling in the water, so instead of shooting at other people, aim for their boats to try and destabilize them or destroy them entirely. You'll start with a limited amount of cash at the beginning of each round and can choose whether to spend more on materials or better weapons. In the building stage, make sure you think about how your boat is going to float, as an all-metal frame is just going to stay on the seabed. For a better fighting chance, you can also team up with a friend to build a bigger, better boat and have twice the firepower. This mode is great if you have a group of friends and team up against each other. Keep your voice chat running and make sure to really rub it in when you win. Melon Bomber. Finally, one of the most different and imaginative implementations of the Gmod framework, Melon Bomber takes the first-person physics sandbox and turns it into a top-down Bomberman clone. Move through the maze, blowing up blocks with exploding melons, and try to catch out your opponents in their deadly blast. There are a variety of power-ups to increase your movement speed, the number of bombs you can place, and their strength. Special pickups also allow you to kick bombs, lay proximity melons, or supercharge your melons to reach across an entire row. Melon Bomber has a few game modes to choose from and different maps to mix up the gameplay, giving it enough variety to keep coming back again and again to blow yourself sky high once more. Those are our picks for the best Garry's Mod multiplayer modes, excluding the role-playing servers of course, because they're pretty weird. Let us know what your favourites are in the comments, and let us know if you'd like to see more Garry's Mod content. Click the thumbs up if you liked this video, and subscribe to Ultimo Hombre for more game guides, tournaments, and news from our live events. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.